Actor Danny Trejo, 78, has been Hollywood's go-to star for rough and rowdy action roles since 1985 after accidentally landing a role in an Eric Roberts film. However, before getting his big screen debut, Danny's life was plagued with secrets, shame, violence, crime and drugs. Speaking on Mayim Bialik's Breakdown podcast, the actor opened up on his years of drug abuse and alcoholism, which started at a much too young age. He recalled, "I had an uncle that turned me onto marijuana when I was 8. Gave me a fix of heroin when I was 12. When I talk to psychiatrists they say, that was abuse. Well, I thought it was sharing." Danny emphasized that his uncle had no ill intent, explaining, "He didn't do it viciously, I was there and it was like, hey, let's get him loaded." That's what happens. The actor struggled with addiction to both drugs and alcohol for years after, punctuated by various stints in juvenile hall and prison, but eventually found sobriety at the age of 23. Years later, his uncle tried to make amends right before he died, but Danny wouldn't hear it as he abides by the philosophy of everything happens for a reason. He recalled the conversation, "I was like, shut up, if you hadn't turned me onto marijuana, I would have been like a Republican somewhere. I don't know what would have happened." Don't miss. Lee Mead in private life vow after ex Denise Van Outen's open letter, Insight, Paul O'Grady's final act to bid goodbye to village he loved so dearly. Latest, Rebecca Vardy gains unexpected legal win in Agatha Christie battle. Insight, the Spy Kids star, who is now over 50 years sober from both drugs and alcohol, was often hindered in his journey to sobriety because of his age as he struggled to relate to those trying to help him. Danny explained that sitting in Alcoholics Anonymous as a 20-year-old listening to someone who had been drinking for decades only made him think he had more time until he had to give up. He shared, "But the problem is, it's the way you drink. I'm drunk 3 days out of the week and I'm 15 years old, something is wrong." The Hollywood star turned to sobriety during one of his last stints in prison and made a deal with God to stay sober. He shared, "I had promised, let me die with dignity and I'll say your name every day, I'll do whatever I can for my fellow inmate. I remember distinctly saying inmate because I never thought I would get out of prison."
Now take